Hello, everyone's. I am here for my review of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 6, Episode 9. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I am Lady T. I like to do reviews on scripted reality shows, and also do reactions. If you're returning, you one of my peoples, welcome back. So, we have one comment from last week's video, and it comes from Kevin Mitchell slash ZG3EV. Now that is a tongue twister. Hey boo, thank you for the shout out, and I want to say Lisa likes to throw rocks and hide behind her back, and I bet Britani was co-signing it also. So I don't trust them heifers. Neither do I. Are you going to review season 17 of Atlanta? The same thing with Beverly Hills. Atlanta, I plan on reviewing that. Beverly Hills, I just couldn't get into it. Like maybe a year ago, I tried to start off with season 1, and I just couldn't get into it. But Atlanta, I plan on doing. So thanks for the comment, boo. Now let's get on. Yo, I never thought I would see the day that Meredith would actually put on one of Britney's little floaty costume thingies that she likes to go around in. But I will go say, if you going incognito, I mean, I wouldn't have put one of those on if I didn't want to be noticed. I would have just been walking around like nothing was going on. But you got this big old poofy thing on, which the last person to put one of those on almost had 4 of her fingers amputated. So I would have stayed away from them. That's just me. But like, you trying to go incognito, that's the worst thing to do. But like, just seeing Meredith in that one, it did give me a little, I did cackle a little bit because I never thought I would see that. But I just want to say this to Meredith. I didn't say this as a person who be getting names wrong all the time. But if you going to be calling Britney, having no brain, and saying she's just like one of the people from the Wizard of Oz, and then Lisa being wrong and you agreeing on her wrongness who it was not the Tin Man, it was the Scarecrow. Tin Man wanted the heart. Nope, I'm lying. Yeah, that's right, Tin Man wanted the heart, the Scarecrow wanted the brain, and the Lion, he wanted courage. I believe that's how it go. Yeah. Because the lion was scared, yeah. But yeah, so you calling her the Tin Man, like, you over being shady towards her having no brain, and then you referencing the wrong character. But like, as a person who like gets to talking fast, and then like I mess around and say something wrong, I get that. So we gonna work on that together. Now Meredith is mad at Whitney because she felt like Whitney was co-signing what Britney said, how Seth was cheating, that he was with his mistress in Columbus, Ohio, and the Uber driver 6 months ago remembers this. It's like, but Whitney lets her know. I expressed to, what's her name? Oh, what is that girl's name? Britney, that is 3 things. Either you tell her, I tell her, or don't say nothing at all. But like, Britney, you brought it on the show and showed her. So it was like, you wanted this out. So now you like, well, everybody else can do it, and why can't I talk about the husband? It's like, we've already said this. Don't talk about the husband or the kids. Yes, y'all still do it, but like, we're not singling you out. Everybody who talks about the husband and the kids, we get on them. This is not a just jump on Britney type of situation. But I'm glad that Whitney was like, I told her, either don't bring it up at all, you tell her, or I'm going to tell her, because then if I don't say anything, I'm going to be looking like I'm not being a good friend for her. So I do appreciate Whitney stepping in and like, no, it was not like that at all. So it's seeming like Meredith cut up several fools at the airport and on the plane. And that's one thing I would have hated, because like, there's few things that scare me about flying. One is, I'm scared that while I'm on my flight, before we take off, they're going to be like, hey, we overbooked and we need A, B, C, and D to get on here. You, ma'am, pointing at me, can you give up your seat? And if I don't want to, I would be the one like, I know I want to get to my destination. I don't want to cause no trouble. I'm scared that they're going to single me out like, hey, I want your seat and you have to give it up. And I'm scared that if I don't want to get it up, I'll get in trouble. That's one thing I'm scared of. I don't want somebody else on the flight cutting up and then we have to detour somewhere else, making me miss landing when I want to land, and just like delaying everything I have going on. Let Meredith tell it. She was completely calm. Otherwise, she, air marshals would have been there waiting for her when she got off the plane. But it seemed like everybody was like, yeah, Meredith daggone it utterly destroyed Britney on this plane. And like I was like that, like I was like wondering what she was saying, because like there was like she was asking for everybody's phone. She wanted to see this TikTok. She was completely unhinged, and I'm like this is when we needed the camera around to show some things. Brittany, if any time you was going to be videotaping something, this would have been time. Now I don't agree to that, but like this could have been like, see, this is how she was acting, because so you could be like, Meredith, no, you was completely and utterly unhinged. See how you was acting right here? This is you. This is you screaming at me for the 2.5 hours as we was flying. Because Angela's like, Brittany was a complete puddle of mess getting off the plane. Like, I don't know how Lisa slept through this, because apparently she was like, just give her the phone, and then she went on back to sleep. I was like, you slept through all that the way they was acting like Meredith was acting? But I just do love how Meredith was like, I didn't raise my voice. I was calm. Like, they would have arrested me otherwise. Okay. See, this is why we need cameras in all situations. Now, I say that, but I'm also like, if they're on, like, a regular airline, you can't really be feeling people like that. Like, I know if I am on a plane and there was some people from a reality show, I would not want to be filming unless I was going to get paid. I will say that. But like, this is when we needed like some kind of footage, because it is seeming like it was just Meredith. But now it's seeming like it was Meredith and Lisa that were like tag teaming at Britney, and it went on for like several hours. Like, I could not imagine. And Heather meets up with Britney. It's like, oh my goodness, this was so horrible. I feel so bad for you. And like, Britney, even though Britney is not my cup of tea, like, somebody berating you for 4 hours, like, not just one person, but two people. And then we got Lisa, she with her husband, what's his name, John? She was like, Lisa might as well not even have been there the way she's like, she was like not in that situation. But it was like, from what Heather and Brittany was saying, it was a tag too. Like, when you get Meredith and Lisa together, it's like this vortex of hate. And like, Heather's like, she thought they had calmed down at some point and she had went to sleep. And I was like, the way y'all saying that Meredith was acting, I don't see how you was able to sleep. But like, I guess, I mean, I probably wouldn't have been able to do it. But like, yelling loud, it's so crazy, because like, sometimes I like falling asleep with the TV on. That's just my thing. But like, once I've fallen asleep and waking up and turning the TV off, when I try to go back to sleep, I need it to be silenced. Does that make sense? But this ain't about me. But yeah, it's like, this is why I needed a camera crew. That's like, y'all should have took like a private plane or something like that. That way we can show the footage of what was going on. Because like, Lisa, she is completely, I have nothing to do with this. But Heather and Brittany was like, yeah, they was like tag teaming your tail. And then like, even, what's her name? Mary, she met up with Brian, was like, girl, you are so lucky that you flew by yourself, because Meredith was hell on wheels. And I just think it was funny that Bronwyn was so scared to go on this trip, because she thought the focus was going to be on her. And they talked about it for 2.5 seconds. And then everybody else was mad at everybody else. I think Mary was the only person that was just sitting back like, y'all just fighting. Okay, y'all do that. I'm going to sit here and enjoy my food. So Bronwyn and Whitney meet up, and they briefly discuss how Meredith and Lisa was on the plane cutting up several fools, more so with Meredith, but Lisa, she didn't get her jabs in. And at one point they was trying to get everybody in the group to pile in on Britney. Now, I'm going to say this. Even though Britney is not my cup of tea and I am a cheerleader for foolishness, like, I don't want to see somebody just getting piled on for hours in. Like, no, I wouldn't want that for Britney, and I wouldn't have wanted to see that for Britney. And when I said earlier I wanted footage, so I can see who I can be mad at. Like, who was the more of aggressor is what I wanted to see. I didn't want to just see that woman getting piled on, but I was like, what are we doing? Even though I don't like this girl and you don't like this girl, you didn't have to like completely and utterly destroy her. And the fact that they didn't like strap Meredith to a chair and have, the air traffic marshal people come and get her when she get off the plane is amazing to me. But anyways, now Bronwyn, I thought Bronwyn was cleared of everything. She come back home and it's on Twitter that Ty was on a flight looking at some woman's picture, and Bronwyn believes it because the person's like, he was in this flight, he was in the window seat in A, B, C, and D. And Bronwyn's thing is like, she wouldn't have minded that, but like, if we have an arrangement, like, she already like, she don't want to leave Todd. And if he wants to open a relationship, she is completely fine with that. So when somebody be like, yeah, I heard Todd was doing A, B, C, and D, she could be like, yeah, he was doing A, B, and C, and D, and I not going to contact it. I got them together. Whitney is saying how, her and Jason, they like to explore with other people, but you have boundaries, you have rules set in place. Don't be out here embarrassing me. If you're gonna do it privately. I don't want to be waking up one day and then somebody being like, yeah, they got pictures of you doing A, B, C, and D. Now I'm looking silly. Be discreet about this. We can do what we want to do. We grown. We love each other, but we want to be loving on somebody else. Just be discreet about it. That's how where Whitney's going, and this is where Brian wants to go. So, like, is this something Ty want to do? I don't know. She said she don't want to lead the man, but it was like, they didn't even bring up all your issues was going on. You come home to Todd may or may not have been looking at some woman on the I can't even talk, on social medias, wherever he was looking at her at. But like, bro, you doing that all out in the public where people can see when people is nosy and you and your wife have been on this show? Really? Angie is still trying to get her daughter Electra on board of being proud of being Greek. And this is something that Angie struggled with when she was younger. She didn't like, I'm Greek, I'm American. It didn't matter to her. But like now that she's older and realized like what her dad went through growing up, not having shoes, not having hot water, meal, you don't know if it's coming or not. Coming to the United States at 17 with probably no money at all and still, even after his wife passed away, raised 7 children who become successful. At least Angie has. And it's like, this has made Angie proud to be a Greek, and she wants Electra to be proud to be Greek. But Electra's like, she doesn't feel that. She wants Electra, hey, you're good at horses, and maybe you should, during the Olympics, represent Greeks. She's not there. She's still a teenager, so she doesn't really understand. But, like, Angie's trying to, like, drill it in her. I was like, you are where you are because of where your papu came from. Now, y'all, I love the movie The Big Fat Greek Wedding. The daddy on there, I loved him so much. He was so cute and so sweet, and he was always like, why are you leaving me? Like, he was a proud Greek man. I don't know what it was about him and doggone was it the Windex that he used on everything, but I thought that was cute. But like, maybe once Electra gets a little older and, I'm pretty sure they've been to Greece several times because they showed pictures. But like, when she gets older, I'm like, wow, like, Grandpa came to this country 17 years old, grew up in a village where he didn't have any running water, no hot water, no shoes, and now I'm able to have a horse that is cost more than my mama's car. I'm living this life that is like a dream come true for Papu, her granddaddy. Like, I had nothing, and now my kids and my grandkids have something I never dreamed of in this lifetime. So hopefully, in a few more years, she will, realize what a beautiful thing is and where she comes from in her hair. Heather, you better than me, because ain't no way in the world I would have sitting here waiting for Lisa for no hour to show up. Like, I understand being late. But like, if you're gonna be late, hey, send a text, call. Hey, I'm sorry, something came up. I needed to stop by to do this, A, B, C, and D. Oh, there was traffic over here. Something. Let me know that, hey, I'm not wasting your time. I don't want you to just be sitting there. I'm on my way. But don't, no call, no text, and you just show up like nothing happened. And then when you do get here, when I'm telling you, like, it was a lot on that plane. You was hounding on that girl, and you being like, I didn't do anything, yada, yada, yada. If I was so bad, how come you didn't, like, did you not see me, Whitney, Angie, and Mary having to physically lift Brittany up and get her off the plane and get her changed because she was crying so much because y'all spent 4 hours yelling at this girl? Now, we already know that Mary, she don't care too much for Brittany, but she was like, right is right and wrong is wrong. Angie, she didn't, I think she didn't have some issues with Brittany as well, but it's like, they put all that aside and was like, y'all was dead wrong. We gonna help this girl up, and you sitting there talking about something. I was protecting my peace. Ma'am. Say Lisa has all the nerve, gall, and audacity to sit here and be like, Brittany was talking about Meredith's marriage. That's disgusting. Now I'm paraphrasing. That's disgusting. I'm like, ma'am. I would never want to live in this world of delusion that Lisa lives in. When I'm telling you, do you not remember that hot mic moment when you said she was hunching on everybody in New York City and how they don't stay in one place because Seth is always switching jobs? Do you not remember this? And you are supposed to be Meredith's best good friend. And you're sitting here talking about something that was disgusting for her to talk about her husband. A few episodes ago, you was talking about Todd. I'm telling you, I never want to be in that world of delusion that Lisa is in. I'm telling you, Lisa feels like she can do any and everything and be like, you're going to have to accept me from all the rudeness and the hatefulness that I do, but I'm going to talk about you and when you do the same thing. She did this last episode. She will talk about you like a dog. And then be like, I did nothing wrong. And then you do the smallest thing and she's trying to, like, doggone tear you down and make it seem like you're the worst person in the world. Now, like I said before, Aunt Brittany is not my cup of tea, but she was riding hard for Lisa. Like, we're not going to talk about Lisa because Lisa's not here. Lisa is my new sister. We tight like we go back like Forrest and Bubba. We two peas in the pod. All that stuff for only for Lisa to turn around and show who she is and who she's always been. I don't know why Brittany thought any otherwise. If Lisa can talk like that about Mary and Meredith's about Meredith and Meredith's family, you don't think she was gonna do the same thing for you and turn on you? So I see that Meredith, she is going to join in with Lisa on being delusional about what went on the plane. So Mary and Meredith, they meet up. Mary, she has a special bond with Meredith. It's like Meredith and Angie are her people. Those are Mary's people. She can get along with everybody else. She'll tolerate Brittany, but like Meredith and Angie, those are Mary's people. And when she feels that you were wrong, she's gonna tell you wrong. And she's going about this with Meredith like, I'm worried about you, friend. What I saw is not you. But Meredith is like, I don't know what you're saying. You were asleep the whole time. Like, what did I yell for 5 minutes? And Mary's looking at her like, no. And the fact either you blacked out the majority of what went on, or you're lying to my face. Because when I would fall asleep and wake up, meaning, like, she had time to fall asleep several times, and every time she woke up, you were still yelling. You were going on for quite a while. And just because air traffic control people, marshals did not stop you, does not mean it did not happen. Like, Mary is not just going to go along with a statement just to go along. She'll be the one person like, no, that didn't happen. When you say something, are you sure that's what happened? Like that time when Lisa was like, yeah, the intuitive said, I'm always here for my friends. And Mary was like, is that what he said? Because I don't think that's what he said, because that's not how you are. But anyways, Mary, she is going to be the one person that's not going to just go along just because you were friends. And it was looking like Meredith wanted her to do that. And it's like, well, maybe Whitney got into her ear. No, you being on the plane yelling is what did it. I was like, did you like black out most of this yelling that you had going on? Because like, they were trying to tell you like, hey, you're causing a scene. Like, people were starting to complain. And Meredith just was like, I don't know what you want them to tell you. It's like, so you're not going to take any kind of accountability for your actions? Mary seems like she was genuinely worried about Meredith. That you're sitting here and tell me like we all came up with, we all separately had the same thought, same memory, but you and Lisa, y'all's is different, so we're wrong. And y'all know Mary, she don't see it for Brittany, but like she said, right is right and wrong is wrong. And if you don't see that you have done wrong, like I can't help you. I want to, she's like, I want you to see how you were acting so we can move forward, because this is not healthy. And I'm like, I'm telling you, like, Mary, I used to be sad her and her a lot, but like these last few seasons, like I've really enjoyed Mary, because Mary, she has been like the voice of reason. Like earlier, before they had left the yacht and they was going on and they was fussing and fighting, it's like, Mary, say something. And it's like, Mary's like, I don't know what I can say because y'all are not going to listen. And usually Mary, she used to want to be like, even though what she did is wrong, she still wants you to be there as her friend. And she feels like you're not being her friend. She is going to be the middle person to be like, even though she did you wrong, she is your friend and she wants you to be here for her. Paraphrasing, but yeah, so, oh my goodness, y'all. So, that was the gist. If I left anything out, by all means, comment below. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Feel free to subscribe. It is free all day, every day, free 99. Make sure your notifications are on so when my beautiful face puts up a video, you can click on it, you can like it, and share it with your people, and they can come over and be one of my peoples by clicking that icon above. This is Lady T signing off. Have a good one.